Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And my amendment is simple and straightforward. It clarifies that the authorities granted in H.R. 3626 apply specifically to state banking agencies that are permitted to examine a bank service company under state law. I was happy to work with several of my colleagues and their staff to reach agreement on this limited, closely tailored amendment. I'd like to also take this opportunity to draw attention to why this bill is important and why supporting this amendment and ultimately H.R. 3626 is so important. In February of this year, Mr. Brian Schneider, Secretary of the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, testified before this committee. During his testimony, I asked Mr. Schneider to highlight the importance of this legislation and what it means for state regulators, and Mr. Schneider responded accordingly. It is critically important to making the financial services regulation system more efficient. As I mentioned throughout, one of my themes is we're out there every day as state regulators doing this work, examining these third-party services providers, for many of which are money service businesses and new fintech innovators. And for us not to be able to communicate freely with our federal counterparts, for them to know what we're doing and for us to know what they're doing, just results in more examinations, more work, more regulatory burden that seems unnecessary because it's just duplicative at that point in time. So the simple change that your bill, the simple common sense change that your bill would provide could greatly impact a reduction in regulatory burden. So I ask for your support of this amendment, Mr. Chairman, and for your support of H.R. 3626. I yield my time back.